So, hi and welcome back to my channel. It's finally that time to do a September review. It's a little earlier than I planned to do a September review. It's only the 21st, but end of September is looking pretty busy for me, and I honestly didn't know if I would have time to get a review in before starting to plan for October unless I did it now. So, let's jump on in. This was new to me this month, doing a separate goals page instead of including my goals for the month on the monthly overview. I'm not sure if it's worked better or worse than the other way. I do know that in part because I liked the way my little pattern turned out, I've been referring to it a lot more, and actually when I make my weekly goals, I come back here and do part of something from this. So you can see I've already gotten some things checked off, but others are close to being checked off, but I've divided up over several weeks. So not sure if I'll do a separate goals page or maybe even divide my goals by weekly and monthly goals for October. Haven't figured that out yet. The next thing I tried different was an editorial calendar. It hasn't helped as much as I hoped it would. Honestly, I think in part because of just kind of the busyness for me at the second week of the month. It just kind of threw me off a lot. I should have probably done some of the important things like my emails into my monthly. That brings us over to the circular monthly. I think I liked it. I've referred to it a little more than I referred to the other setup, but at various times I did actually need to look at the editorial to calculate Fridays, even though on here I marked where Fridays are and that type thing. I know that can seem kind of weird, but for some reason I had to keep looking at that. So if I do the circle again, I'll probably add in little divisions between the weeks to kind of help me see a little better what's going on. I did really like having the phases of the moon. I don't know, it just made me happy. Okay, so my tracker is the same as always. The difference here is I did a gradient of color, and I was planning on going from brightest all the way to dark. But instead I started adding in the number of miles I was walking per day when I filled in my greater than 2 miles, or if it was less than it. And I realized that if I went any darker than this blue, I wouldn't be able to see my numbers. So for that sake, I decided to go to the darkest and then fade back out. So yeah, I really like the little sticker I got to add in, and I think I'll definitely keep a space where I can write in the miles per day, just to kind of help me see what's going on. This gratitude tracker, as you see, has been so much more successful than my first gratitude tracker. I think in part because it is across from the daily habits tracker. I see it daily. I like the colors. For some reason, when it's just a ray, it feels like it's not as daunting to write something in it. I don't know. Who knows what's up with my psychology, but yes, this has definitely worked better for me than the list that I tried first. So here, oh, I totally should have covered that. Good grief. I tried to think ahead. I have my gift tracker. I've either come up with some gifts or actually already started buying some gifts for Christmas and family members whose birthdays are around Christmas, and this is really helpful because I know I would have forgotten some of these things already. There we go. This is from Eat, Sleep, Stay Weird still, the bill tracker. This has been really helpful. As I mentioned before, my husband and I alternate who pays what bill, and it helps me to have what bill it is, the due date, the amount, and then I get to color it in, like, you know, my power bill last month. I paid it for September because it's due September 1st. So I got to color that in, and so on and so forth, rent, etc., etc. So definitely really liking that one still. And then this is my last spread from September that goes, from August that goes into September. So you've seen this one before. My doodle from when I got my 20 pack of Stadler pens, yay! And things have, you'll see, changed up with this weekly. This I saw in the Bullet Journals Junkies Facebook group and has been really surprisingly helpful. You've seen most likely either people who track their moods in something like this daily habit tracker, or with a little graph that goes up and down and up and down, and that just didn't make sense to me. I couldn't think about that for myself. But I saw someone who did a variation on a temperature mandala and instead assigned a color to each state or mood or whatever and did a layer a day. And I am really enjoying doing this. It's been surprisingly helpful so far. So part of the way into September, I decided to do a plank challenge. Going from 20 seconds to 300 seconds. And I've done really well so far. I mean, we're on day 21 and I only missed day 3 at the 30-second plank. However, no offense, I love these exercise challenges, but this one doesn't seem to be based really well on like health science stuff. Just the jumps are pretty quick, and you know, I did a 2-minute 30-second plank today, and within the next 9 days, I'm supposed to make it to a 5-minute plank, and I really just kind of feel like that's probably too much for my body. So I haven't decided exactly how far I'll go with this. I do plan on continuing to use it. You can see I have these boxes at the top, so I've just filled in one for the day there. So like next month, I was thinking I might do it 2 times a day, so 2 20-second planks, and then I would fill in each of those and write O's over them for October. Again, I haven't completely decided. I really like the way the colors line up, but definitely don't want to overdo that. This next page is being covered by my doodles because it is a tracker for a project I'm working on that I'm not quite ready to share yet. Okay, and then we're back to these weeklies. This is pretty close to the last weekly of September that you saw. Here's my big boxes still, the month, the tracker, yeah, my edits, my goals, a little future log. I wanted to work towards trying out some other things though. So this week here you see that I did this weird stuff, and that was actually trying to break out my goals by area. So, you know, goals for home, goals for business, goals for another branch of business, to try to balance out where my work was going. And for this current week, I'm trying something a little different on that. So this page right here probably looks blank to you. It has some pencil lines on it. To celebrate our anniversary, my husband and I did a Lord of the Rings watch party, extended edition, and we spent the whole day eating like we were hobbits in Middle-earth. And it was awesome. So I wanted to do something over here to celebrate the different foods that we ate, and fun drinks I came up with and that type thing, but I've only started penciling in this so far. And that brings us to this week. I found this little stencil in with some of actually my clay supplies. It's supposed to be used to cut a pendant out. But I tried doing this in bubbles with my weekdays. They're a little smaller than the previous weekly, days, which I think is good. I don't need as much space per day as the older design here was giving me. Even when I have stuff to do, it doesn't take up all that much space. You can also see I added some in the bottom for my different goals, you know, goals for home, goals for business, goals for YouTube, goals for Skillshare, so on and so forth. And I like having these separate. I'm still not committed to this layout, but I definitely do think I like having my weekly goals divided by kind of area of my life. And then here is just, again, my cleaning tracker. This has been just huge. I love having this in here. Especially working from home, I can just get so bogged down in mental and working on things that I forget how long it's been since, you know, I've tidied the bedroom or scrubbed the bathrooms or whatever. And so by having this weekly, I can kind of divide it and make sure it all gets cleaned, at least a surface clean once a week. That's so nice. As you can see, I actually forgot a future log area for this, but I have so much space that I think I'll add in stuff here now that stuff is actually being done. The only other difference so far this week is this little circle instead of my standard little flag. I just thought that since I was changing up the weekly shape, I might as well change up my daily shape. And that's actually from the smallest circle in this part of my French curve stencil set. So that actually wraps up what I have for September so far. Clearly I still have another week to go, which is exciting, and I am having so much fun plotting and doodling, thinking about October. September was really fun to lay out because it was my second month in the bullet journal, and I wanted to try this, and I knew I wanted to try the different gratitude thing, but I think the theme for October is going to be so much fun to work on, and I'm still hoping that at least most of the goals in each side will be done by the end of September. So that's my September review. I'd love to know what is or isn't working for you this month, and what your favorite parts of your September bullet journal have been. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye!